there are a couple of log files that we haven't actually talked about yet. So let's go into var log again. And you'll see here there is a wtemp file. It's about 11K, and this particular log file keeps track of the logins on a system. If you see a utmp file, that is going to be a historical version of wtemp. In this particular case, we have a wtemp.1. Now, you're not going to be able to read this directly, so I could just take a look at this here and I'll show you. This is a binary file. I'm going to say no to this. So how am I actually going to be able to see this particular log file? Well, I'm going to use the last command. The last command is actually going to read that log file and it's going to give me the output. So you can see I've got a couple of instances that are still logged in, and then I've got some going back a few days at this point. So if I wanted to see the older version, what I could do would be to say -f wtemp.1. And now we've got a more historical record of the logins over some period of time that that particular file covers. Now, as I mentioned, you could see a utemp. You might also see a btemp file, which I don't happen to have here. The btemp file is going to have all of the failed logins. There is another command that I just want to show you here, and that is last log. The last log reports the most recent login for all users. So I could say last log, and then I'm going to pipe that out to less. And you can see root's never logged in. All of these different services have never logged in. That's all of the different services and the users that are on this particular system. So we also looked at last, and we'll just take a quick look at the manual page for last. So as I said, we've got btemp, and that is the failed logins. Utemp is the historical record of wtemp, and wtemp here is the log file that last actually reads through by default. So I've actually got a different command, lastb, which is the same as last, except that it shows the bad login attempt. So if I wanted to look at a different file that has the same data as the binary format in wtemp, I could specify -f. We could just take a quick look at lastb. I don't believe there's any failed logins. And it tells me when it began, but we've got nothing there. So that's another set of files that can be really useful. You can see wtemp, and we've got btemp there as well. Let's just see, because it looks like there's a btemp -1. So we'll just take a look at that. And so there's no bad logins there either. Those are another set of files that you want to take a look at. As I said, they're binary versions, so you need to use these programs last and lastb in order to be able to see the logins from users that have been on your system.